Howdy everyone, so today I am making homemade pasta. I am getting my large pot of water with a little bit of oil, getting up to a boil while I am working on the hot ground Italian sausage. I'm just frying it up in my skillet or deep pan for however long it takes to brown on medium heat. I have the Contadina Roma tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, and tomato paste. And I have the Rose homemade spaghetti. And I will be telling you guys the spices as I add them in. I do not measure for the life of me, so I wish you the best of luck. But if you like this pasta sauce recipe, I hope you give it a try. I'm also improvising this time because normally when I make my homemade pasta sauce, I have a large peeled carrot that I will shred into the sauce to help reduce the acidity and actually sweeten it. Because I don't have any whole carrots, I grabbed a little cup of diced carrots and I just mashed them up into a paste. We're gonna see how that goes. Hopefully it works. It should mix in, but I personally love the carrot method over the sugar, just because you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. The carrot helps reduce the acidity in the tomatoes and it's a natural sweetener. Whereas if you do the sugar, you may want to add a little bit of baking soda to help reduce the acidity if you're somebody who can't have like a lot of acidic food. But I use the ground Italian sausage over ground beef because I feel like it gives it a little bit better of a flavor. I know there's a lot of people who prefer the ground beef, and you can make it the same way with the ground beef. This is what I prefer. If you don't like something that has a nice kick to it, you can use the mild ground Italian sausage, and you can omit the crushed red pepper. Goodness, I can speak. I promise I can. But with this, I like a little kick. It's not like making it so spicy that you can't tolerate it, but just having the nice, happy pasta flavor on top of just a little bit of a kick at the end. And just like a little heat. It's the best thing ever. There was one time, I will never forget, my mama was making pasta, and she had a bad day. And if you guys know, I'm not sure if it's just like Hispanics or if it's just any woman at all that works in the kitchen, you make us mad, or if we're having a bad day, you're gonna taste that bad day. My mama made that spaghetti so spicy. I was like, we're all over here baffled because it's spaghetti. It's not supposed to be spicy. And my dad, I love him so much. He's one of those men that like to eat those really spicy peppers. So like he's done ghost peppers, all the hottest peppers in the world. And he's like, he'll get a little bit of a sweat to him, but that's like the worst of it. And he had my mom's spaghetti when she was mad, and he was like, I think we should order some pizza. It was a great memory. Absolutely hilarious. Because spaghetti is also the recipe that my sister learned to read the labels of the spices that you're using. Because she was making homemade spaghetti sauce herself, and this is back when we were in like middle school. She was wanting to learn how to cook, and my mom's like, go ahead, it's really hard to mess up spaghetti. She grabbed the brown powder that started with a C, and she thought it was cumin. It was not, it was cinnamon. And when she realized that she put cinnamon in it, she did not tell anybody. She just tried covering it up, and then we ate it, and we're all just like, there's something really off. And my sister's just like, what do you mean? Like, what did you do? And she admitted to it, and it was a laugh. So make sure you read the labels of your spices. Okay, so the ground Italian sausage is now at a good point where you can start adding in the tomato sauces. I'm currently opening up the last can, but I'll be picking up the phone and putting it down a lot during this part because this is when we add in all of our seasonings to the sauce. But I'll be showing you as I add it in. I did reduce the heat down to like between 3 and 4. Mind you, my stove does not have the little numbers for the lines for eyes. But I'm adding in the tomato sauce first. I'm gonna add the crushed tomatoes in first if you prefer. This is just the canned I put out first. Crushed tomatoes. And I'm gonna have to use a spoon to get the whole can of tomato paste in. So I'm gonna put you down really quick, grab the spoon out. Do I have a spoon? I have a spoon. Okay. Get the whole can of tomato paste in here. I love pasta. My husband loves pasta too. There was a period of time when I was pregnant with my youngest, I could not eat tomatoes. I developed a random allergy to tomatoes, and it was very sad because I love Spanish food, and most Spanish foods are tomato based. Mac and cheese and blue water. Okay. Let mommy get to a stopping point with the pasta sauce, and I'll throw your mac and cheese into the microwave, okay? Are you sure you don't want pasta for dinner?
No.
Okay. We can eat all the pasta. Thank you, babe. Now I'm currently scraping in those carrots that I mushed up. So I'm going to stop and show you guys what this looks like now. So this is before we start adding in any of the seasonings. I'm just going to get this mixed into there. So it looks like the carrots are actually blending in pretty well. You're going to have a little bit of... Oops. Going to have some chunks of carrots. But that's okay. I like carrots. Carrots are yummy. Okay, and now we're going to start off. I have a whole bunch of spices out. Bear with me. These are all the spices we're going to be using. So we are going to start off with our onion and garlic. And then we're going to go over and grab the ground mustard. I need my hands to be able to open stuff up. Now I can also clean as I go. Cleaning as you go is a very helpful tactic. So that's something. Ooh, Georgie. Onion. Garlic. We're gonna grab our ground mustard now. Mustard. And just adding the last of it. Next we are going to add in our salt and pepper. Salt is behind me. Just a light amount of salt, because you can always add more salt. You cannot really take salt away. So, salt. Black pepper. Then we are going to start adding in our herbs. So we're going to start off with Italian seasoning, and I will tell you as I'm adding stuff in what we're throwing in there. cheese all over. Closer to me. This one's Italian. This one's Italian. So add in a nice amount of Italian seasoning. Next is going to be the basil. I can read. A little bit of basil. I do end up tweaking the herbs as I let it cook, because you got what, 11 minutes with the noodles, so plenty of time to tweak. This is parsley, and now we're gonna add in some oregano. I know, a lot of spices and herbs, but I promise you it's gonna turn out good. And fennel seed. I absolutely love throwing in some fennel seed into pasta. One of the best things ever. So we're gonna mix this in before we add in our red pepper flake. I only add in a modest amount of red pepper flake because, like I said, I don't want it to be spicy, but I do want to have that nice little kick to the savory, herby flavor that you get with everything that we just put in. So, oh, my water's going to be boiling here soon. Nice. So that's now mixed in. We're going to grab a red pepper flake, throw a little bit in. Once again, I'm so sorry, I do not measure. I go by taste. So I will explain if I do need to tweak. That's enough red pepper flake. Like I said, just a modest amount just to give it a kick. But not to make it too spicy. We're gonna let this cook. We're gonna reduce the heat down to 3. We're gonna let it cook and get happy. And if we need to tweak, we will tweak. So for now, I'm just going to put all my spices back, or at least close them up so they're not all open all over the counter. The water is getting ready to start boiling here in the next few minutes. I have started to not break my noodles because all of the videos of people who make pasta as well do not break their noodles, and they get upset if you do. But this says cook for 11 to 13 minutes. So I'm gonna do 13 minutes just because I like my noodles on the softer side. So if you look here, 11 minutes for al dente. As you guys may have heard, my oldest came in asking for blue water. This is what he's talking about, the Mio Hydrate Fairy Glass. I put 1 to 2 squirts of it into a bottle of water for him. Well, into a cup of water for him. I'll put the whole 16.9 fluid ounces of purified water into a travel cup, 2 squirts. Really good. It actually gets him to drink water and hydrate. And if you guys know, or the parents, my kiddo is in the toddler phase of mac and cheese, red beans and rice, and cold hot dogs. Though he has recently started eating hot dogs, so we're evolving slowly. Okay, so I just tasted it. Personally, to me, it still has like that tang that you get from tomatoes. My love, can you come here? I need you. Good? Okay. So it's just me. But now our water is at a rolling boil, so we're just gonna switch the lid over. Rolling boil. We are gonna add in our noodles and we'll put in our timer for 13 minutes, let it get happy. Also during this part, so once you get down to like the last 5 minutes of the noodles cooking in, you can add in a couple like those size tablespoonfuls of pasta water into your pasta sauce, and it'll help thicken it up and make it more creamy. Also, just in case, make sure you stir your noodles so they don't stick together. That's also why you add the oil in. I also forgot to add in the salt, because you throw a little bit of salt in, a little bit of oil after the salt into the water to bring it up to a boil, and then you add in your noodles. But it helps keep the noodles from sticking. So, good things to know. I did leave it at the same heat that I was at with the, I guess it's like 7. Okay. Mac and cheese. This is still at 3. If it starts boiling within the last 10 minutes I have, 10-ish minutes I have, I'm gonna reduce the heat down to low to let it just simmer. And yeah, once the timer goes off, I'll drain this into the colander, and then I'll drop the noodles back into the pot, put this into here, mix it all together, nice and happy. But I will show you, like, you'll see a slight change in the pasta sauce when you add in the pasta water. It's gonna be really good. Thanks. Alrighty, so we're down to where we got about like, camera focus. Can you focus? Here we go. About 5.5 minutes left. So we're gonna do 3-ish spoonfuls of water. We're gonna see 1, 2. Now let that mix in. Watch, 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 watch. I don't know if you can see it as well on the phone as you can in real life. But look at that. Just the slightest change. It's not like a major one, but it's a slight change, and I swear it makes a difference. Unless you've ruined your taste buds, like my husband has, where he just drowns everything in pepper flake and hot sauce. I love them. Also, if you have them by chance, the Red Lobster cheddar biscuits go so amazing with pasta. Love them. Whenever I make them and I make pasta, that's the only thing my son will eat is the biscuits. He won't eat the pasta. I love him so much. I used to do the same thing when I was a kid. I used to just eat the bread. That was it. So that's great. I got the colander out. We're down to 4 minutes. So once this goes off, we're gonna turn on the cold water, just because this is boiling hot water that will pour down the drain. So I throw in cold water to kind of negate it a little bit. I don't know if that actually does anything. I think it does. It probably doesn't, but it is what it is. So in the next 3 minutes, I will show you guys the completion. And ta-da! Pasta.